Hello, I'm Lady Calamere, and welcome to my channel. I am doing my 71st video on Anubis. So, Anubis, who is he? He's an ancient Egyptian god. Now, the most popular myth is actually a later story of his incarnation as the son of Nephthys and Osiris. But there's a less popular but more ancient myth. In fact, Anubis is actually older than Asar myth. Okay? In fact, he's a very ancient god. And we got Our Lady Bast. She's kind of nervous. You hear the chaos in the background? Those are my kittens, the new ones. So Anubis, actually, if you want to look at the older stories, he is the son of Ra and Hesat. Ra, the sun god, and Hesat, who is actually a cow, seen also a cow goddess. Then there's another story, not as popular, but Ra and Bast. So I do want to clear that out. In fact, he is pre-dynastic. And by the first dynasty, he was in carvings in different tombs. So it wasn't into the middle, around, what was the 5th dynasty, that things start change. Of course, Osiris became more popular, so we have another incarnation of Anubis, or story, however you want to put it, where he is the son of Osiris, and Nephthys, who's actually Nebuchadnezzar, is her Egyptian name. Now, Anubis is actually a Greco-Egyptian name. His Egyptian name is Anpu. A-N-P-U, Anpu. And it means, it has two major meanings. A royal child. Now, also, you have from imp, meaning decay, rot, death. So, and his color is black. Not because of jackals, which he takes on the form of a jackal. Is because we're dealing with rot, decay, how the body looks after the mummification process. We also see that he is the black soil. They were causing problems. So, and he deals with the dead. So he deals with the graveyards, cemeteries, and he becomes a lord of embalming and mummification. So I did want to tell you an older story of him. And he has, well, a wife, Anpu. And there's some arguments saying, well, Anpu is just another name for Anubis, but Anpu is feminine. And with his wife, he has, I know of 2 children. Nebuchadnezzar, who is a serpentine goddess, and she's a goddess who purifies with the waters, the spirits, before and during mummification. And Upuat, a son, who is the opener. His name means opener of the ways. That dripping water is driving me nuts, but my cat is drinking from the sink right now. He's too good to drink from the bowls, I guess. So, this statue is from Egypt. It is made in Egypt. I got it at the Pharaoh's cave, and I cannot replace it if it gets broken. But we see some wonderful pictures, and let's give credit where credit is due. Excuse me, little boo. We have the key card, Anubis. from this deck, the Anubis Oracle by Nikki Scully and Linda Starr Wolf. And the same comes from this card too. So we have Anubis, Surrender, Shaman, Enlightened Heart. And here Anubis is also seen as opener of the ways. We have this wonderful card. I don't use this for readings, by the way. And I have it put away wrong, and I hate that when I do it. So, Anubis from Spirit of Halloween card. I bought it because of the art. I love the art. So, I use it for like focal points, meditations. And we have Anubis Protection from Gods and Titans by Stacy DeMarco and illustrations by Jimmy Matten. So that's out of the way, and credits where credit is due. Anubis Anpu has other names. Get away from a drink. You little clown. Come here. All right. He's not taking your spot. All right. It's okay. Want a boop? Boop. You get a boop. It's okay. Just wanted to show you. That was Joker. So anyways, he has titles as Immute, and that means he who is in the place of embalming. And some say that was an older god, but he's also called Immute. He also has a title, Foremost of the Westerners, and we don't mean like America, we mean like the Western world. We mean the Western. From in the West was the place, land of the dead. And also the Western, foremost of the Western, was where the bodies were buried, on the west bank by the west end of the Nile. So west of the Nile. So, and it was called Kentamethus. So he comes to us that way. He's also known as Kenti Shi Nejer, the presiding over the god's pavilion. So, and this is where he takes charge of the embalming tent, and he secures the tombs, the burial chambers, the place where the bodies are put for the final resting place. And also the Golden Hall, which is, in that case, would be for the burial for the royalty. We have he who is upon his mountain. And this is Tepi Juef, this is where he protects the necropolis, which is the city of the dead, by sitting on a high hill overlooking the desert. And he chases away grave robbers and is said to curse them. So he protects the dead. Now his animal, of course, is the jackal. Now there is also another jackal-headed god, Wepowet, and the difference is that Wepowet is seen as white or silver fur, where Anubis is black. And like I said, that's one of his main colors. So, but Wepowet will face the east, whereas Anpu will face the west. Wepowet faces the east, Anpu faces the west. So, she's leaving. His other color is gold. In fact, he is also called the Golden One. He shines in the dark, in the shadows. Really, Joker? Monkey see, monkey do with these guys. So, Anpu was as time goes on, Asar pretty much you know, basically Anpu stands in Asara's shadow. Asara's shadow, which is Asara is the Egyptian name for Anubis. So when the Greeks come, they see Anubis as their god Hermes, believe it or not. So he actually gets the name Hermon Anubis. And you'll see the Greek thing with the caduceus. You'll start seeing him with more like, less jackal-like, more man-like. In this guise where he is a psychopomp, where he guides the souls to the dead and he helps communicate the living with the dead and the dead with the living. As the Romans come, they kind of demonize him even more. They see him as more of Pluto, more of a god that you don't want to call. And of course, you know, Hellenistic with the Greek god Hades, where you don't want to call, actually Hades would be pronounced right, Hades. And you want to be careful about calling him by his true name, actually. But Anpu is not Hades. Anpu is Anpu.
Would you stop it, you silly boy?
Ah, jeez. I think I should have locked him up. That's Joker. So, you see him. Oh, don't bite my butt! You see him with the scepter there. No, you're not taking my spot. You're not biting me in the butt to get me to move up, because that's what you do all the time. I wanted to show you a cool book that I was reading. Come on, stop it! Joker, stand down. Good boy. So, Lady Boss is here. Ow. I don't know why it keeps going into the text. Okay. I keep trying to show the guy. Here's the cover. I've only began to read this, so maybe about 5-10 minutes into the book. Anubis, the History and Legacy of the Ancient Egyptian God of the Afterlife by Charles River Editors. Okay, it's by Marcus Carabas. He bit me. Marcus Carabas. I think next time, my next presentation, I'm locking these boys up. He bites me in the butt, guys, so that I move and they take my spot. No, you're not doing that to me, Joker. Well, anyways, let's talk about his days of celebration. And his days of celebration, they're crazy. Are August 10th and August 21st. It's also on July 5th is another celebration for him. I think I'm going to have to lock these boys up. January, shit, they threw me off my, I don't have any notes. January 3rd, January 20th, and I forgot January 19th. So we got January 3rd, January 19th, and January 20th. We have July 5th. We have August 10th and the 21st. So his main cult sites included Sinopolis, which meant the city of the dogs. Dog city, pretty much. He was also really popular in Thebes, as well as Memphis. Stop biting me in the butt. That's it. That's it. I'm going to lock you up in Arkham. Oh, God, I think I have to put them in the room. So his animals are definitely jackals. By the way, jackals mate for life. Jackals are very protective of one another. Not only are they scavengers, but they're also hunters, and they're very loyal. So just wanted to throw that out there. The basically pup kid, they'll protect their own. That even the little brothers protect their little sisters from hyenas and stuff and lions. But also, people have seen him as a black wolf or a feral dog, dogs. So any of the canines are sacred to him. In fact, and this is really sad, I guess, they used to have puppy mills just so that they can have puppies in ancient Egypt to sacrifice to an Anpu, to gain his grace and his get on his good side. And they did find sacrificed puppies. Knock it off. Now they're fighting and they're biting me in the butt. And you got the milk teeth. And it hurts. So Anubis rarely is with snakes. However, his daughter is Serpentine. With his wife Anpu, as I said. His daughter is Nebetchet. She's a goddess of purifications. Now, his other epithets, which I forgot: overseer of funerary rites, lord of the White Land, protector of the dead, lord of the sacred land, master of secrets and the occult. Well, masters of secrets. So gemstones. What stones do I want to associate with Anubis? Definitely, he loves obsidian. Obsidian of all kinds. But especially, his favorite is black obsidian. He loves black obsidian. Fire opals have been given it to him too. Like, especially fire opals. People have given him pearl. But he really likes that obsidian. So, herbs. He likes resinous stuff. He also likes poppy, calendula, cypress, storax, even myrrh. Myrrh is a good one to burn for him. What offerings would you give to Anpu? Anpu, red wine, any type of spirit such as beer, wine, well, like I said, wine, especially red wine, liquors. He does like his liquor. Dark chocolate. He loves his dark chocolate. So if you got chocolate, especially give him dark chocolate. He likes tobacco. You can give him a cigar or a cigarette. Of course, bread is a really good offering. You can't go wrong with bread with any of the gods of Egypt. So any type of bread. Leavened bread, unleavened bread, whatever. Whole wheat bread, white bread, doesn't matter. Arrowheads, anything to do, any like macabre toys, anything to do with, death. Anything from the graveyard, but when you go to a graveyard, be respectful. If you take some dirt, leave an offering. It could be just a few pennies, could be a few candies, a little bit of liquor. So Anpu, even though he seems very scary, he actually is a caring god. Anpu, Anubis, is a caring god. He cares about the dead, but he also cares, even though he cares a lot about the dead, he cares about the living too. He'll also help you with astral travel. And if you're having a child that's astral traveling and you don't want them astral traveling because you feel they're not taking protections, you can, and it works, ask Anubis to stop them, to block them. He has done that for parents to protect their children. But sometimes their children are reckless and they don't know what they're doing, and they are bringing things back with them. So, or they're leaving themselves open to psychic attack by spiritual entities or by nasty assholes who would curse a child. So, you know, he's very protective of that. He does protect children, he especially protects children. So if you got like a you know, a child that is doing these things or being cursed or is being sometimes psychically attacked, or who is creating their own poltergeist with their own energy, Anubis can really help them with that. Can really help, you know, a child to block the power somewhat and to help the child learn how to control it. Because sometimes the child needs guidance with their psychic abilities. They really do, because they can bring things in. They can start seeing things that they don't want to see, that they're scared, that they may see, like murder victims that don't mean them any harm, but they're seeing a charred up person, or a person, you know, with a bullet in their head is gonna scare a little child. Anubis can help them understand, look, sometimes these spirits, these ghosts, I would say at this point, do not mean them harm. Sometimes they do. Sometimes ghosts can be assholes too. And spirits, those who have crossed over, you know. So he's a god that could be used for mediumship. Talking with the dead. That's it. I've had enough of this water. I'll be right back. And I'm taking my Anubis statue. Lady boss, you can come. So, sorry about that. He's not even drinking water anymore. So he can help with talking with the dead, communicating with the dead, and help you protect you. He's also good for protecting against negative entities, negative spirits, spirits that mean you harm, spirits that are vampiric, spirits that are causing problem in the home or are trying to make you leave. He can also bring peace between the living and the dead, or an understanding. Like maybe the ghost just wants help, you know. Anubis can help you communicate with that. So Anubis is good with the occult, with psychic powers, with magic. He knows a lot about that. Anubis is also good for defense and protection, but he's also good for cursing. Yes, cursing, hexing. And I'm not going to tell you to do it or not do it, okay? I've done my fair share of cursing. You know, and people I've cursed actually fucking deserved it. Ever watch Dexter? He only goes after the ones who deserve it. And I'm not saying, you know, go kill someone. That's not my message here. Don't kill anyone, okay? Do not take a life physically from someone. So he is, in a way, he is an opener of the ways. He opens the ways to the other side. He is responsible for judging. With the help of judging, he holds the golden scales in which the feather of Ma'at is put on one side and the heart on the other. And if they don't balance, oh well, the soul goes to Amut. The Mut is this other deity that swallows the soul. I'll swallow your soul. And one could, I guess, could see that as reincarnation. But back then, it was considered, that's it, the end. You're fucked. You know, I guess what the Christians say, you're second death. And biblically, or you're fucked. So Anubis, he is also a god that can teach you secrets. He can teach you things that are hidden from you or that you have forgotten. And in that, he's a god of divination. So you can work with him with a pendulum, with tarot cards, or the Anubis oracle that I have here, which is beautiful art. I recommend it. So he's a good god to deal with when you're dealing with your own mortality. Maybe you're going to die, or you're terminally ill, or he could just help you deal with, you know, everyone's got to pay the reaper sometime. So he can help you with that. He can help you at the time of grief and suffering, which is a natural part of life. So if you're going through depression, again, see a doctor, see a therapist, okay? Take your medicine. Other than that, you can use Anpu and pray to him during those times. If you lost a relationship, you're having a divorce, maybe, you know, your end of a friendship, or, you know, you're have to be estranged from a family member or from the whole family. Anubis can help you through this dark time and walk the path during this dark time. So Anubis can, you know, open the ways. When one door closes, he can open another one. So, and he can also help you help someone cross over. And someone that has crossed over, he can help ghosts and everything to go to the other side, to become a spirit. Now, he is a god that, is he easy to call? Some people may be afraid of him, okay? And some people have seen him as demons. If you see him in movies, Anubis is always an asshole in The Mummy, and he's an asshole in Stargate. He's a big asshole in Stargate. But he's not like that. He can be very dangerous, yes. But he's not an asshole. Okay? So he's good to remove binds that have been put on you and curses, but he can also bind someone, like I said, and sometimes for their own good. Here comes little Boo. Little Boo, come on. Come be famous, girl. They're busy playing with the tree. They're not fucking up with us. Come on, Boo. Lady Boss, come on, let's cheer her on. Come on, lady girl. Oh, there you are, good girl. I know. So, his favorite people, are those who work graveyard. There's those who keep the graveyard clean. Grave diggers, anyone who works in the funeral industry. And at one time, he was a patron god of professional mourners. Egypt actually had professional mourners. And they were hired to mourn your loved one. You gotta understand, the ancient Egyptians were very obsessed with, you know, dead and out of life. No, come on, leave her alone. You've had enough tormenting her. So Joker's here. He has to bother little Catwoman here. Go away. Shoot. Here, look, I got a toy. No, little Boo, that was meant for them. Shit. No. Little Boo, come. Oh my God. So anyways, please deal with me with the chaos. They were born September 2nd to kittens. So they're still little. It's a day after Thanksgiving. Actually, it's 2 days after Thanksgiving now. So, Turkey Day, whatever you want to call it. So, let's talk about his birth, his second birth, or his third birth, because like I said, his original birth was Ra and Hasat. Is that Nebuchadnezzar desired Asar, so she was a twin sister, but darker sister of Isis, and she dressed herself as Isis, Aset, and she had sex with Asar. Aset found out because she found like a wreath of clover that he has given to her, and of course she was pregnant, and then she gave birth, and of course Aset was looking for the child because Nebuchadnezzar basically discarded the child. She gave birth and pretty much dumped him. So Aset, Aset went looking for the child, and she forgave her sister for her treachery, and she raised the child like her own. She loved Anpu. So of course Anpu is very, protective of Aset and his basically his stepbrother Horus the younger, or Hor, Hor. People like to say Haru, but some people believe that's a mistake on Budge's part. And either way, he protects him, and when Asar is killed by Set, he helps protect Asar, his body parts, from Set, and he also does the mummification and help him go into the other underworld. And of course it says that Osiris took over the other world, where Anpu is still a god of the dead, but Osar is now the great lord of the underworld. And he's a god among other things. I'm going to put these little boys away. Can you just bear with me 1 second? I know everyone's going to be laughing at me. I can see the comments now. Okay, now. Oh my God, it's like wrangling a fucking sheep. Get over here. Ow, I hurt myself. You're done. Well, they're gone, little boo. Come on. I have them locked up in the bedroom. Little boo. Come on, baby. It's okay. You're safe now. So, now back to what I was talking about. When Set tried to defile body pieces, I'm not going to go into the whole story, is that he came as a bull and Anubis castrated him. And there is also a second time when he came as a leopard, in which Anubis brands him as a feline cat, he's branded. And he comes after again, in which Anubis, quotation, kills him and skins him. So, and as you will see, is that they described as the pole with a feline skin around it and put into a pot. Like, so it was a pole with the feline skin, like I said, in the pot, is representation of Anpu, Anubis. So when people did the mummifications, the embalmer, the people who were doing it, dressed in the mask of Anubis. And I actually have an Anubis mask on my wall, and it's more of a steampunk looking mask. So now Anubis is just, the god of embalmers and stuff, and of the dead, but And of course, he's much more. But they like, oh, Cyrus is, outshadowed him. But again, it wasn't always like that. He is the god, like I said, the god of the underworld, but also guardian of the underworld. So a thing to keep in mind is if Anpu starts giving you advice and you don't listen to it and you keep calling him, he's going to get pretty angry. He may not even want to work with you. And he's like, I don't need this shit if he's not going to listen. And sometimes he's going to make sure lessons happen to you to teach you a lesson. And, listen. So, Anubis is not as gloomy as people think he is. Yeah, he's a gloomy. He could be like a god. Of course, he's a god of the dead. So my suggestion of candles is black. If you can have like just all black candles, or if you want to add gold, add a black and then a gold candle. Capri incense, I forgot about that. Capri incense is good also to burn for them. A lot of gods, the Egyptian gods, love Capri incense. Another way to really honor this god and make him happy is to respect graveyards and cemeteries. And if you see like dirt, like soda cans, I'm not talking about like some spell work, leave that alone. But if you see soda cans and beer bottles or whatever, pick it up. Keep away from, sharps, syringes, anything like that. Or, you don't want to be caught handling drugs if you see it there. But, just clean it up. It's a way to respect him. Add, go to someone's, random grave or some, like a soldier, and leave some flowers there, Or just, like I used to, anytime I walk by a graveyard, I always say a prayer to a deity. Sometimes I've given, well, for Anubis, you could just leave candy for the spirits there. Just say, this is for the spirits, out of respect. This is, give them some bottle of alcohol. If you feel something is wrong there, or you get a creepy feeling, then don't do it. Just respectfully walk away and cleanse yourself. If once you get home, or just go outside your home and just sage yourself, smudge yourself. Anubis is a good god for the left-hand path, but he's also good for shadow work and shamanic work. He's also the god to help you through painful lessons. Maybe it's a lesson that you didn't want, but you damn well need it for your growth, your spiritual evolution, and don't do that shit again. He helps us with our shadow side, with our abandoned self, or inner child, or abused self, and trauma, deep, deep trauma. He can help you with things dealing with maybe you died a horrible death in the past life, and maybe you maybe you were burnt at the stake as a witch, or hung to death, or maybe you died in a horrible war. So he can help you ease from past life trauma. I believe in, and I talk about past lives, and he can help you with carryover trauma. So Anubis can help with the healing process with that. Another way to honor Anubis is to help dogs. Feed a stray dog. Give some, money to a dog shelter, or give some food to a dog shelter. You're buying pet food for your cat or dog. Just buy a can of dog food and say, here, give it to the people at say, do you have? Can I donate this to dogs? You have, and yeah. So for dog food, it doesn't have to be a fancy can. It doesn't have to be a fancy bag. You can even donate dog toys. And by the way, I'm against greyhound racing. That's poor animals. The way they're treated. Just look at. I'm not gonna get into it. Just look it up. Don't take it from me. It's, I'm not gonna say they're all mistreated, but the ones that are mistreated, I hate. So the Roman invaders, like I said, they saw him. They made him a little bit. They saw him as more darker, but they also saw him as a fierce protector. So other things more about him is that he is said to also protect a home. You can ask Anubis to protect a home. And some people have literally, when they call them, sometimes they hear the barking of dogs, or sometimes they've seen dogs walk the neighborhood that weren't there before. Other people have had dreams of dogs, or seen like a spirit of a dog, that they could have sworn at the corner of their eye they saw this big dog. Now, as for sacrificing dog puppies, I won't do it. I'll give them chocolate. I'll give them some incense. I'll give them poppies. I'll give, if I could find, poppy flowers, calendula. I don't even know where to get poppies at. I have cypress. It's pretty cool. Anubis is seen as, how is he seen? Sometimes as a full jackal, or sometimes as a man with the head of a jackal or a canine. And there's dispute. Was there really a jackal head? It doesn't kind of look like a jackal. It's more like some type of hound and whatever. We call him the jackal-headed god. So sometimes I heard that, some Egyptiologist has actually said that he's like more of the head of an African, in an Egyptian canon known as an African wolf, or African golden wolf, or golden jackal. But then they were more like, well, genetic analysis has updated it, and he's just like as having more of a jackal, or is now properly called a wolf, or blah blah blah, and stuff like that. And it goes back and forth. But he is a jackal-headed god. And I know there's a lot of, there's a lot of, some of the stuff I've seen is kind of like, should I say Wikipedia? Garbage. Misinformation. Some of it's good. That's, it's just one of my pet peeves. But Anpu is becoming more and more popular. That's the only book I've seen about him. Of course, the Anubis Oracle, which is a 35 card It includes 35 card deck and book. I do recommend it. It's a journey into the shamanic mysteries of Egypt. So when some people now think of horror, well, of Anubis, because of the movies, they think of horror movies. Gloom and doom. Not so. Some people say he, and it's very friendly. And wants to help. So Anubis is called. He's, if you can find him in the Book of the Dead, and believe it or not, there's not a lot of myths like the stories or gospel of him, as there are other deities in ancient Egypt. Another day that we can honor him, if you want, and people are doing that, is Samhain. So around Samhain time, from October 31st until, especially, not until, but especially when Scorpio's in 15th degree, which just happens in early November. I think it was around November 7th or November 6th, right around that time, if I remember correctly, this year, the 2021. So Anubis is a very powerful deity, extremely powerful. And when he needs to be, he's a very fierce god. Other things I want to talk about is he's also said to, let me show you what he's holding. The Ankh of life and the Waz scepter of power, which is Set's scepter, the Waz scepter. Sorry, Set haters. So, but yeah, he also holds the Ankh, which deals with life. So Anubis can help you uncover your enemies and your friends as well. Like I said, he's a shadow lord. And he can help you with the darker side of the craft, magic, the occult. He's also a god of necromancers. Even the Romans saw him as a god of necromancers. Believe it or not. You can ask Anubis to have a peaceful death. If you know, we're all gonna die, so to ask him for more of a peaceful death, or to help you transition and, you know, not to die in so much pain. And again, he's a god of transitions. And he's also a god of transformations. Now, when the Christians go over, the saint that he's taken the form is Saint Christopher. Saint Christopher of Travelers. Yep. So if you're in a place right now where you can't have any, gods, your altar, whatever. You're living in a, I know this is still going on, you live in a place where you fear having it, then have an image of the jackal or have a statue of Saint Christopher and use that as Anubis as synchronization. So he's been synchronized with Saint Christopher. So he helps you spiritual travels, your astral travels. He's going to help you a lot with that. And now some people are saying that Anubis, a lot of people are saying, well, Anubis helps me travel. That they feel safe with travel spells with him. Why not? So if you need him for that, for physical travel, then go right ahead. If you feel Anubis is going to help you. So, since I don't have a Patreon account, think about, donating to charities that help dogs. Think about giving, a can of dog food to like PetSmart, if you're at PetSmart, Petco, or Pet Supermarket. If you can't, they don't have the donation bins anymore where I am, because there was someone they caught and they didn't prosecute or anything. She was taking all the she was dressed well, and they said that they were told, like I was talking to some people, there's this lady burglarizing the donation bins. How disgusting. Probably reselling it too. So anyways, if you always see a donation bin, or just leave it up in the counter. Hey, I would like to donate this to, a dog charity. Another thing is honor the dead. Maybe leaving a flower by someone's graveyard, by gravestone. Or if you see the children's grave, just leave some flowers and say, this is for you, little one. It's like I said, Anubis does like children. Another thing is that I want you to do, if you can't do that, is look in the mirror and say, I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of respect. I'm worthy of being treated right. Love yourself and take care of yourself. You know what? This is what I want you to do. If you can't do any of that, I want you to spend at least $20, up to $20. Doesn't have to, it could be $10. Even if it means if you have to save $5 a month, buy yourself something nice. Buy yourself that nice little dress, or buy yourself a shirt, or buy yourself a crystal, or maybe there was a nice scented candle. This only cost you about $3 or $5. Buy yourself something nice, and treat yourself good. And thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with the absolute fucking chaos by the Joker and Loki Loftus and my new kittens. And thank you for watching this video. And as always, blessed be.